Hi guys, this is Karen. Welcome to another video. Well, if you're looking for a snatched Instagram base, then these are the products that I recommend for your base. Base meaning primer and foundation. So let's just jump into it. If it's interesting for you, then do keep on watching. I just want to quickly welcome any new visitors to my channel. I really hope that you will consider subscribing, and if you do subscribe, then please hit the notification bell. We talk a lot about skincare and makeup for mature skin, tips, tricks, tutorials, hauls, makeup especially. Okay, we're starting. I have two options from each category. I have high-end, two options, drugstore. So we're kind of going to do half of my face this, half of my face that. I really tried to match my nails to my dress, and I kind of ruined everything. I didn't wait for it to fully dry. So the 40 seconds dryer from Catrice is garbage. Really garbage. Now I have to redo my nails. That's pretty annoying, but never mind. We're going to start with primer. It's very important to prime, especially if you have mature skin. If you have mature skin, then you need a primer. I have mature skin, if you don't know that already. I'm not in my 20s or 30s. My skin is mature. I have lines under my eyes, I have pigmentation, I have wrinkles, all the fun stuff that happens when you age, and I don't want to conceal it. I just want to have a perfect base, so when I'm taking that snatch photo for Instagram or just, whatever is you're filming for, then it will look, I will have a perfect base, a perfect canvas for everything else that is going to come afterwards. I am dividing this video, instead of doing a long video with all of my makeup favorites and recommendations and tips or whatever, I'm just dividing it into sections, so you will have a separate video on each topic. So today we're talking about base. So let's prep. Let's just stop talking and just do. Okay, for the side of the drugstore, I have two recommendations. I have one from Essence. This is Hello Good Stuff. This is a glow serum primer, and I am just pointing the serum because this is what you want. You want something that will give you hydration, and you want something that will also, for me at least, I have large pores here and here. I want a poreless face primer. So this is e.l.f. And by combining these two together, I get the better result. So I'm just taking from my e.l.f. a pump on my finger. I'm using my ring finger, but it doesn't really matter. You can use the index finger, and just put it where you have large pores. For me, it's here and on my nose and on my chin. I'm just doing half because the other half is going to be high end. So I do recommend taking two primers. Don't use only one, use two, because we have different preferences all over our face. So maybe there are places that we are very, very dry and we want hydration. Then we'll address the primer to that problem of hydration. Maybe we have enlarged pores, so we take a primer to go to that direction, and so on and so on. So take into consideration your needs when you are looking for a primer. And now I'm taking the serum. This is from Essence. It has a scent of a watermelon, which is really nice. So I am applying this all over my face because my face is a bit My face is a bit dry, so I'm adding it to where I need it. I'm not applying it all over. I'm not applying it where I already applied my poreless primer. I'm just applying it everywhere else. That was the drugstore options that I use on almost a daily basis. Sometimes I just take, like we all do, we take the same primer all over the face. But if you want a snatched base, something that will look pretty, I highly recommend addressing your trouble areas separately with a separate primer for each area. Now I have on the high end side two Tartes. This is the Double Duty Beauty. This is the smoothing primer from Tarte. Why am I'm just reading what it says. And I have there, what is this called? This is the Timeless Smoothing Primer Base. So this one is perfect for the pores, and this one is good for hydration. So we're doing basically the same thing, but just now we're using high end. This comes in a cream. And I'm just taking with my finger, swirling, and applying it again where I have my pores, because this is poreless primer. It helps with your pores. So I have them on my nose, again on my cheek and on my chin, and that's where I'm applying it. Now this is not a new product. It's been on the market for a few years. I got recommended this by Tati. So I really think this is great for your pores. Great primer. So it doesn't really matter if you choose high end or low end, just choose a primer that suits your specific needs. This is a very nice creamy texture. You can see it's a cream. It's smoothing, so it's basically, if you go to the Tarte site, they will say this is for your pores. Oh, I overspread, sorry. This is for your, I was talking and wasn't thinking. They will say that this is for your pores, but I find it better as a hydrating primer. Of course, everything is personal preferences, and what works for me not necessarily will work for you, but I do recommend that you try with a drugstore first and see if the combination is good for you. Okay, so we are halfway through getting a snatched base. Second step, of course, is foundation. Here as well, I have two options of foundation, and we're also going to talk about application method, because this is also very, very important. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I really like to do something with my hands when I'm talking. So it will give you not only the, okay, I lost my train of thoughts. So it's not only about the base, it's not only about the foundation that you use, it's also about the method that you use. So I have in the drugstore option, well, one of them is drugstore, one of them is kind of mid-range. So this one is from Maybelline. This is definitely drugstore. This is the Super Stay Activewear 30 hours. Mine is in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. And the other one, which is a bit more expensive, but it's not the price of high end. So I have two. On this one, I'm the shade 17.5N. These are going to be on the drugstore affordable option. Again, this is not very, very affordable, but this is not as expensive as the ones that I'm going to show you in the high end. Now, the tip for application, which relevant to both sides, it doesn't really matter which foundation that you're using, but don't take Let's just take the Maybelline one. Don't take this one directly on your sponge or directly on your brush. Don't just do like that, directly on the sponge and then apply it. That's really not good, because it will, the foundation will sit on the face and will not blend together with the face. Blend together with the face. That's a great sentence. It will not blend and it will not look seamless. It will look like you have foundation on your face. And we don't want that. We want a snatched base. So keep that in mind. Okay, so don't do like that, or on your foundation brush. Don't do like that. So this technique is good for brush and sponge. I'm using a sponge, but that's personal preference, but the same thing applies. So what I recommend that you do, just pump it on your back of your hand, or if you have a palette for blending or applying a product, then use that, but on the back of your hand is fine. Just one pump to the back of your hand. Start with one pump. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to use your sponge correctly according to me. So I'm going to combine both. I'm just taking a pump from Maybelline, and then I will take a pump from, oh, I'm just doing half of my face. Okay, we'll make it work. Okay, so I applied it to the back of my hand, and I'm taking my sponge and I am just tapping it, so everything will just be absorbed in the sponge. The same technique with a brush. Just saturate the sponge or brush with the product before applying it to your face. So let's just take this half quarter, and this will give you a very, well, I waited too long between saturating it and applying it, so everything is sunk into the sponge. Don't do that. Do it immediately. Don't really wait. So I'm just taking the Sephora one. I'm taking a pump. I am just taking everything in and immediately go to my face. Not wait. When you wait, the sponge will just do its magic and sponge and make everything be absorbed into the sponge. So this is not what we're wanting. Now, if you want higher coverage, you can layer up and add more coverage. But first, start with a thin layer. Thin layer, patting motions, just like that, quickly and thoroughly. And if you need more coverage, then go to these areas that you want more coverage and not your entire face, because not every part of our face looks the same. Let's take this side that is not covered. I have here my dark spots. I don't have him. I have here my dark spot. I don't have him here. So here maybe I need just one coat, and here I need additional quantity. Okay, so let's go to the technique is going to be the same. I'm just going to show you two options for high end. I have two. I have one from Clinique. This is their Even Better Clinical. I have mine in the shade, where is the shade name? CN10. And I have Dior Backstage in the shade 1.5N. This is more liquidy, you can hear that, and this is more thick. So it really depends on how much coverage that you want. This one will give you high coverage, this one will give you very light to medium coverage. This is buildable, this is less buildable, but we're going to do both. Again, I'm going to do it on the back of my hand and sponge the material. I took too much sponge. Just absorb. Help the sponge absorb and immediately Don't wait, go to your face. It's important because otherwise, again, I don't want to repeat myself. So I'm just, you can see very, very thin coverage. And maybe that's all I want. Maybe I don't want to cover everything. But because we want it to be snatched for Instagram, I am going to add additional coverage, and I'm going to take my Clinique. And I'm just taking a very, let's say, 1/4 of a pump to 1/3 of a pump. And again, I'm taking my sponge, saturating, and the same technique will also is also applicable for brush. If you don't want to use your sponge and you want to use your brush, then just do the same technique and saturate the foundation in the brush before applying. I do recommend using the sponge because, oh, sorry about that. I do recommend using the sponge because the sponge gives more smooth coverage. You can see that. And I'll have foundation all over my hair. And when that happens, I just take, this is from Primark. This is also important. If you have these white hairs or you have foundation all over your hair, you just take this, it comes with a brush, just like that, and cover it. There's no shame of covering, and I usually prefer doing it after foundation and not before, because again, sometimes the foundation is stuck to our hair, and if I do it before, then I have to redo it once again, and then I have too much powder on my hair. Now if I made a mess or something is wrong, I just take my fingers and tap the excess. Now in, oh wait, what did I do here? This side I have more white hairs, and here I got foundation on it. So this is also, you know, for us girls with mature skin and white hairs or receding hairline, this can definitely help us. I can just feel here the gap if I want. And here where I have the foundation on, I'm just adding this. So when we're talking about a snatched base, we need to also, of course, to my opinion, take that into consideration because it will affect your appearance. Now I look much snatched. What's wrong with me today? Maybe it's because I haven't had breakfast yet. Maybe I'm just hungry and the hunger is talking. What do you think about my new earrings? These are new, this is new, and these are new. My husband got them for me for Valentine's Day and my birthday because they're very close to one another. Okay, so this is our base. This is our base, and based, I'm telling you, I'm hungry. I need to stop filming before I had breakfast. It's 11:30 and I haven't eaten yet, so I guess I'm talking stupid things. Okay, this is the base. From here we can only build on top whatever we want. This is our blank canvas. So this is my take on a snatched base, either for Instagram or TikTok, or, you know, maybe you're going on a family dinner or you're going on a photo shoot for, I don't know, your sister is getting married or something like that. That's a great base. This is more custom to your skin type. Some other thing that I want to talk about that it relates to this foundation is the foundation shade. When you are searching for your shade, and sometimes you do it in the store, which is definitely easier, because when you are trying the shades that look similar to you, you know, you go to the stand and you choose different shades that look similar to your color skin, and you want to test them. Then you test them here, when the half is on your cheek and half is on your neck. This is how you just apply them here and see which one is better for you. I always recommend taking a darker, if you don't find your exact shade, always go darker. I'm not talking about dark like very, very dark from your skin tone, but if you have 3 options, neither of them suits exactly to your skin color, then choose one that is slightly darker and not slightly lighter. If it's slightly lighter, it will be horrible in pictures. If it's too light from your skin, from your body, okay, unless you're wearing a turtleneck, but any other shirt, usually you can see your neck. If it's too light here in comparison to this, then it will look funny and it will not look snatched in those Instagram posts. Will not. It will be reflective, you will look weird. So always choose tiny bit darker, because if it's tiny bit darker, you can always mix a tiny bit of another foundation that you already have, that it is in your shade, and mix them together. I'd highly recommend going a tiny bit more dark than too light, especially if you want a snatched base for your photos. Okay, this is it. This is the base. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to have a series of videos, 6 videos in count. Then I am talking about my recommendations to mature skin, all the processes and all the steps, and I'm going in depth. So if that sounds interesting, then just watch the next video that will be uploaded. I assume that in a day or 2, so do keep on watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Join my family here on YouTube, and I'm going to grab something to eat before continuing filming the second video. I think that will be a good idea, because I was just all over the place, but I hope that the message came through and you tried. Let me know if you tried any of these methods and if it helped you achieve that beautiful base for every day, for Instagram, whatever you need it for. Okay, I'm mumbling. Okay, so like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe before you leave, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.